Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Snackbox. Hope you all are having an amazing day. Guys, we have some news for you. From Thursday next week, we will have a new fusion. And in my opinion, it's a really good one. So let's take a look at this champion's design. I have to say, maybe it is just me, or we are spoiled a little bit in terms of the designs from Raid Shadow Legends Champions, because I really feel like this guy, uh, you know, just looks like a random orc, kind of. One of those level 5 mobs in like starting areas from MMOs. And I don't know, it feels like they haven't put much love in this design, even though it still looks good, right? It's just not as overwhelming as other designs, but still, pretty cool champion. Has this giant wrecking ball or a bomb as his weapon on his hand, and yeah, that already leads us to the type of champion he is and his kit. So let's take a look. So here we go. Legendary champion, spirit affinity, attack based from the Ogryn faction, cross wall breaker. I already like that it's the Ogryn champion because, let's be honest, a lot of players are really struggling with the Ogryn faction. They're really hard to pull. I don't know why, but it seems like a lot of players are struggling to pull Ogryn champions. So it's always nice to have a fusion. And this one seems very promising, especially for Faction Wars Hard and PvP. But let's first go over the kit, and I'm going to give you my opinion on that. So the A1, Pulverizing Pummel, attacks one enemy 3 times. This is pretty cool. Each hit has a 30% chance of decreasing the detonation countdown of all bomb debuffs on the target by 1 turn. Also has a 30% chance of placing a stun debuff on the target for 1 turn. Now this can be booked up to a 50% chance on a free hitter, a 50% chance. That's almost a guaranteed stun every time. Pretty amazing A1, to be honest. Now the A2, Battlefield Zapper, has a 75% chance, now this can be booked up to a 100% chance, of placing 2 bomb debuffs on each enemy that detonate after 2 turns. Fills this champion's turn meter by 25% for each enemy with a bomb debuff. So this sounds also amazing, right? If you like, let's play it out in a scenario of a faction wars wave. You go in with this guy, you place bombs, you place 2 bombs on every champion, and now for each enemy with a bomb debuff that has been placed, he will get 25% turn meter. We have 5 enemy champions in the wave, that means 125% turn meter. He will basically get an extra turn, right? Now, in the arena, it might be a little bit different because you only have 4 enemies, right? So if you place bombs on 4 enemies, you will get to 100% turn meter, but that doesn't guarantee you an extra turn, basically, because the enemy champions can't be above 100% turn meter, right? But there are also other ways to manipulate this turn meter effect. And for example, if you want to use him in the arena, you can get him, put a wand on him and then use the Invigorated Gemstone, which is a rare circular one, which improves the turn meter effects on this champion. So that way you might be able to get an extra turn, even if the enemies are above 100% turn meter. So yeah, pretty cool skill. The only thing that I don't like about this skill is that it's on a 4-turn cooldown, but then again, if you place the bombs, you get an extra turn. It's kind of a 3-turn cooldown, right? But it's also not really an extra turn. I'm just saying like a turn after, you get enough turn meter and you get a turn because of the bombs that you placed. Now, the A3 Mangonel Maul, which can be booked down to a 3-turn cooldown, it has a 100% chance of decreasing the detonation countdown of all bomb debuffs by 1 turn. It's an AoE attack, and also has a 100% chance, if booked, of placing a block active skills debuff for 2 turns. Theoretically, what you do with this champion is you place the bombs, you get turn meter for each enemy that has a bomb debuff. not for each bomb. Keep that in mind. It's for each enemy with a bomb debuff. Then you get another turn, in theory, and you can activate those bombs. Or not activate them, but you can decrease the detonation countdown by 1. So that means they will be at 1, and the next time the enemies take a turn, that's when they're going to detonate. Now, on top of that, it's also basically a lockout skill. Block active skills is very, very strong, also in the arena, but also in Faction Wars Hard to lock out the enemy waves, which is a hard counter to a lot of those, unity waves. So this skill is very, very good and will help a lot of people to progress in Faction Wars. Then we also have a passive. Almost every champion has a passive, right? Fills all allies' turn meters by 5% each time a bomb debuff detonates. Pretty interesting, right? He's kind of like a bomb nuker type support lockout champion. So he does a lot of things, right? Which can be really, really good for your team. Has a 20% chance of activating an instant turn effect on this champion whenever an ally or an enemy is killed by a bomb debuff. And now instant turn is a very, very interesting effect because as far as I know, this will cut into extra turns, for example. So yeah, I don't know. If you ask me, this champion is really, really good. The only thing that I don't like about this champion is the spirit affinity, but still, it's still very good. It's from the Ogrins. So we also have a condition in Faction Wars Hard. Right now, we actually have the Ogrin faction open, and there is a condition right here. You can see it. Defeat 10 enemies using bomb debuffs, and that is stage 11. Now, there are only 2, as far as I know. Let me check. Only 2 champions that can do this at the moment. And for one, we have an epic, which is Grunge Killjoy, and he can place bombs, right? He will place 1 bomb that detonates after 1 turn, but it's also only a 75% chance, so not even a 100% chance, and it's on a 4-turn cooldown, and his base attack is so low that it doesn't really matter that he's placing bombs because they absolutely suck. They don't do any damage whatsoever. So you could theoretically do it with him if you get the enemy wave low enough and then place the bombs and then kill him that way. But it's, very, very annoying, and you probably have to restart hundreds of times. And yeah, he's a support champion. That's why his attack is so low. Now, the better option is War Mother, which I don't have. This is a legendary champion. Been in the game since forever, and I never pulled her. And fun fact, I never thought, I wish I would have pulled her, right? Like, everybody was disappointed when they saw her coming out of a shard, right? So, yeah, but now she kind of has a purpose, kind of has a niche use, which is a one-time trick pony for this condition, right? She places the bombs, and, she can do it pretty effectively. She also has pretty good base attack, right? So that way the bombs are actually doing things and you can stack up enough attack to complete this condition. And yeah, and now with this fusion, we will get another Ogrin, and not only can he do this condition, he can also be used as a lockout champion and get control over the fight. And that's really a good thing. Now, another role that this faction is really lacking is a reviver. I mean, we have a Void legendary reviver, which will get a rebalance in the next couple of days if everything goes like they planned it would. It was already postponed from last week to this week, so we will see. But a Void legendary is really hard to get, right? You only get so many Void shards each month. And we would really need a non-Void legendary reviver in this faction. Other than that, I think we have one more. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, if there is an epic that can revive that I'm not aware of. I mean, Ugo can, but it's kind of conditional. I'm more so speaking about a active reviver, right? We have Gear Grinder, but it's a single target revive on a 5-turn cooldown. That's not really it, right? So yeah, this faction definitely lacks a good, solid support type reviver that can provide survivability and also revive your champions in case they die. Either way, it's definitely a good step in the right direction for this faction to have this champion. If you don't have many bomb champions, I would definitely advise you to go for this one, not only for faction wars, also for PvP, because bombs in PvP are very, very strong. Also, they are easy to counter, but you know, if you have the right team set up, this guy can really do some work for you. Also, on top of that, besides faction wars and arena, right now we have this rotation, right? With Dreadhorn. And Dreadhorn is very vulnerable to bombs. This fusion has the Spirit Affinity, which is strong affinity for Bommel, and it's perfect, right? It's kind of like he was made for this, right? So if you're struggling with Bommel, then, you know, this fusion might help you as well. So this fusion will be starting next week on Thursday, November the 20th. It's gonna be a fragment fusion. Now, fragment fusions are cheaper than the normal ones, than the traditional fusions and the mixed ones, because you don't have to get rares, level them up, ascend them, you know, fuse them into epics, level them up, ascend them, and then fuse the legendary champion. With fragments, you only collect the fragments and that's it. So it's much cheaper and easier to do. And also overall, the milestone points that you need are also a little bit lower as far as I remember. But who knows, maybe they're going to adjust that as well. Happens from time to time, but still, even if they would do that, fragment fusions are easier to do. So anyways, guys, that's about it for this video. That's my opinion on this champion. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this one? I think it looks amazing. And yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please hit the like button, it really goes a long way. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more raid content. The YouTube algorithm's gonna suggest you a video that you might like right here, and see you in the next one.